This is the new Ford Everest Titanium 4x2. Since you can't buy the entry-level ambiente and trend models anymore, this is now the most affordable Everest that you can buy. And it sells for almost $2 million. Is it worth the money? Let's find out. I've talked about the changes to the new Everest on my Everest Titanium 4x4 video. If you haven't seen it yet, you could click on the link above. Calling this a facelift would be a stretch. The changes on the new Everest are very subtle. So subtle that you probably won't notice them unless they're pointed out to you. It has a new grille. It has a new bumper molding at the front. And it has new wheels. On the outside, the Titanium 4x2 and the Titanium 4x4 are pretty much identical. The only difference are the badges on the side. On the 4x4 it says by Turbo, and on the 4x2 it just says Everest. The differences are mostly under the skin. Aside from the fact that one is a 4x2 and the other is a 4x4, the latter also has a more powerful engine. The 4x4 gets a 2-liter bi-turbo engine, which produces 213 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. The 4x2 gets a single-turbo 2-liter engine, which produces 180 horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque. The Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 is one of the most feature-packed SUVs on the market. The 4x2, on the other hand, has been stripped of a lot of the 4x4's features, but it's still a pretty good vehicle for the price. The 4x2 gets fewer toys. It doesn't have active self-parking. It doesn't have adaptive cruise control. It doesn't have collision mitigation, all of which are standard on the 4x4. Okay, on the inside, the Titanium 4x2, wait lang, let me just fix the lighting. That's not good. Okay, so on the inside, the Everest Titanium 4x2 looks almost the same as the 4x4. What you don't get is the knob over here. Also your 4x4 options, your 4x4 modes. But you get the same leather covered dashboard with white stitching. You get a leather covered steering wheel. You have controls for your infotainment, also for your cruise control. This vehicle does not have adaptive cruise control. You have controls for your hands-free operation. You have the same 10-speed automatic. You have a USB port, a 12-volt outlet. You got the same 8-inch infotainment screen. You also have leather seats and pick-up holders over here. And you also don't get the sunroof. Okay, so here at the back you get a fan speed knob. You get an AC outlet. You got a 12-volt outlet. Roof-mounted air vents. And then you get a center armrest, which is padded and leather covered, and you have two cup holders. And that's it. Power, third row seats.
Mileage you need, power you want. Ford EcoBoost engines make it possible.
And you also got a power tailgate.
sir, alam mo ang kabisado niya sir, puro ano to ah. Puro sa sasakyan sir, no? Yung ano nyo. Okay lang ba magsalita ako sir? Wag na.
Okay lang, okay lang.
The ride quality of the 4x2 is about the same as the 4x4. They share the same suspension as far as I know. The cabin is pretty quiet. The Everest has active noise cancellation. Think of noise cancelling headphones. This technology is about the same as that. It uses microphones and speakers to cancel out noise coming from outside the vehicle. The steering is one of the lightest in its class, but it also stiffens up at highway speeds. The Everest is packing a lot of technology, but I like the fact that they kept the parking brake low-tech. I've never been a fan of electronic parking brakes.
Let's not make a wave. A little right. A little bit right. Okay. Okay, that's 600 millimeters water. The car's rated till 800. I can't see you. A little to the left. There you go.
Compared to the Nissan Terra VL 4x2, I think the interior of the Everest 4x2 is a lot nicer. The Everest has active noise cancellation, which makes the cabin a lot more quiet. The Everest is more spacious. The steering is a lot lighter. It has a power liftgate, and it has a more comfortable third row. Overall, the Everest feels more refined. The Terra though has the upper hand when it comes to active safety. The Terra has lane departure warning, it has collision warning, and it has a 360 top-down camera. Compared to the Fortuner 2.4V 4x2, the Everest Titanium 4x2 has a lot more features. The Fortuner doesn't have cruise control, it doesn't have blind spot monitoring, and it doesn't even have a backup camera. The ride quality of the Fortuner is also not as good. The Ford Everest Titanium 2.0 Turbo 4x2 is quite a mouthful, and it's also a pretty good SUV for the price. My only complaint is that I wish Ford made more visual updates to the new Everest, because it looks almost exactly the same as the old one.